How's it going, girls and guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining me in the new year, the new decade, my first video of the new decade. Generally, the decade starts in the first year, 2021. Let's move on. I hope you all had a great Christmas and New Year's. Since you clicked on this video, I know you're interested in money and personal finance just as much as I am, which is why I make videos on it. So be sure to subscribe down below and let me know what you love about money and personal finance. This is the first time I've made a video of this type on my channel. We're looking at how much have I made in 6 years on YouTube, close enough to 6 years. So what I'm going to do first is summarize the last 5.5 years and then get into the details of last year, 2019. A big difference in this video compared to a lot of other videos on how much have I made on YouTube is that I have switched the niche of my channel way too many times over the last 5.5 years. That has affected earnings, that has affected CPM, which is the clicks per million, and it's also affected my subscriber and view counts and all that sort of stuff. So I've got a background that I want to briefly run through, then get into the numbers so you've got some idea of where and why and how this has all happened. Like I said, I'll summarize the years from when I started up until 2018, then I'll dive into the numbers just a little bit further into the 2019 numbers, that being last year. In this video, I'll also dive into the reason why I've changed niche, how I came to that decision. So be ready for a bit of a personal development story, and hopefully you can learn something from that as well, and maybe inspires you to get up on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube at the moment and you want to change it up, hopefully it gives you the confidence that you can do it too. So I started on YouTube way back in mid-2014 as a vegan health channel. Don't worry, I'm not gonna try and convert you to veganism. There is zero chance of me doing that, as you'll soon see. Having said that, no hate on my vegan viewers. I love you all the same, especially when you destroy the like button and you wreck the comment section with your thoughts and comments. All right, that's enough wanting to be cool. Let's get back to the story. By this stage, I'd been vegan for about 2 years and I met a bunch of other vegans who were into YouTube. Up until this point, I had rarely ever watched YouTube. I didn't understand anything about YouTube. I didn't understand how YouTube worked, why people bothered uploading videos, why people even still watched YouTube. This is going back to 2014. Nor did I understand anything about cameras, anything about thumbnails, writing a script for the content that I'm producing, and I wasn't so good at public speaking. I was actually shite scared of public speaking. I got up to do a wedding speech for my auntie at her speech because I was kind of forced to, and it didn't go very well at all. So I thought it'd be a great idea to start a channel, try to overcome my fear of public speaking, and hopefully in the process become a better speaker as well. Just something that flows a lot better, something that's engaging, something that people want to listen to. So that's the process and the journey that I'm also on while I'm doing this YouTube channel. Over the years, my channel went from vegan health to travel to vegan food to being an online vegan relationship, vlogging, to back to health, opinions, politics, economics, finance, news events, and I just found it became way too random. I even got myself a YouTube media partner that lasted about 12 months. They took about 20% of my revenue. Fortunately, back then my revenue wasn't so big, so they weren't taking too much. Overall, my channel has been a complete mess. Enter the year 2019, last year, and I finally decided to get my act on track, change my niche. Why? Because firstly, I was no longer vegan, so vegan didn't need to associate with my channel. I could remove that, and I did that by making a couple of why I'm no longer videos way back in June of 2019. So I could end that part of the channel. Next, I noticed that political and opinionated videos were extremely polarizing in my audience, and I felt like I wanted to change myself from being over polarizing to more about working on myself and improving as a human. I didn't feel like I could do the two things at once, doing the polarizing, opinionated news, politics type content, and then also something self-development along the finance path, showing how I'm bettering my situation through finance, through other sorts of personal development journeys, exercise, health and fitness. I also realized that vlogging and travel videos weren't my passion, but I still love talking about the financial side of traveling. When I'm traveling, I love talking about how much the accommodation costs, how I can save money while I'm traveling, how I can earn some money while I'm traveling, how I can save better while I'm at home, all those sorts of things. So I found the financial side of the travel component of my life is still something that I enjoy doing. Same goes for food. I'm still completely and utterly over the moon about food. I'm passionate as all hell about food, and I just love talking about how much I spend on food, how to get good deals on it, eating out, traveling to eat. You can see I'm starting to lean towards the financial side of things. I do have plans to start up my second channel again, which has been dormant for years, and I'll be putting food and travel vlogs onto that. But for now, my primary aim is to grow this channel here that you're watching on personal finance. So with all these realizations pointing me towards personal finance, self-development, and investing, the decision was quite easy for me to step away from the previous content and step straight into this content, which is why I changed my niche from all those previous things to this, personal finance. I can still do the travel and the food and bits and pieces in my day, but I just love to focus on the monetary side of those activities. Now that we understand the backstory of the last 6 or so years of my time on YouTube, let's jump into the earnings for this period. These figures will also explain why I called myself a terrible YouTuber somewhere in the thumbnail or in the description. So, how much did I make from YouTube in the past 5 or so years? All this is going to be in US dollars, and I'll add a little bit of commentary to them. First up, we have 2014 when I started. That was in July. That being my first year, complete amateur. As I said, I had absolutely zero idea of what I was doing. I made a total of $0, and there was no CPM obviously because I made no money. Next year, 2015, my second year, still massive amateur, but I was making videos regularly. And also within that, I started a 12 months with a YouTube partner. They said they would get the CPM up higher. They said they could get me more ads for my videos, get them put into the right places in the videos. Who knows if they were actually able to do that, but it was kind of a thing at a time. A lot of YouTube partners were spamming people and just getting them to sign up with all these great promises. With that said, I only made $14 that year directly from YouTube. It had to be, from memory, growing from 20, 30, 50, 80, $100 a month during that 12 months with the YouTube media partner. The CPM was around $3.70 in that period. That leads me on to 2016 when I was still in contract with the YouTube media partner. Like I said, each of those months, somewhere around 50 to 100, maybe even $200 towards the end because I was putting out a lot of regular content. That was like the vegan vlogging travel days. So these 2 years are a little bit hard to gauge the exact numbers from, but I'll use what data I can from YouTube, from my creator studio in the back end of YouTube. That leaves me at 2016 with $509 as a total. CPM was about $6.79, so not too bad in those earlier years. Moving on to 2017, my fourth year. I'm making a mixture of videos at this point. I'd taken a break late 2016, now I'm into 2017. I thought I'd try and make a comeback. I was doing finance and economics at this time, so I'd started that about 3 years ago now. Crypto started taking off at that point later in the year, but I was onto it earlier in the year and really loving the buzz of something fresh that we could talk about in the finance space. And that led me to the finance, economics, vegan video still, some health stuff, and politics. That year, I made a combined total of $1,655. Yes, with all of these things, I'm just rounding off the cents. No one's interested in how many cents you've made. And the CPM was $3.14. In the case of the CPM, obviously, I'll mention the cents. Such a small number. The lesson you can learn from this year, there was a lot of different things going on. I think it's important to make mention is the mixture of the content destroyed the CPM. So you can see from the previous years, CPM was $5, $6, something like that. This year it's been destroyed down to $3.14. There's a valuable lesson. That's at a point where I was thinking, all right, I need to start getting a little bit more serious with this. I need to figure out what the hell it is I want to do. We get into 2018. This is my 5th year on YouTube. The content's still all over the place. I'm not consistently uploading. There were other things on my mind. I was more into crypto and investing more actively, whereas now I'm a bit more passively investing, just letting things take their course, which I've explained in several other videos. For that year, I'd made $216 with a CPM of $5.45. Now, there's a couple of numbers that I'm looking at here. It was about 61,000 views, which were monetized. If I multiply that by the CPM of what I've got here of $5, it just doesn't add up. So although I've got all these numbers off YouTube directly, you can see the screenshots, sometimes they don't add up. I don't know exactly how they're calculated, but I'm just going with those numbers that YouTube has provided. 5 years up to date, we can summarize that and say $2,395 is what I had made from YouTube in that 4.5-ish years, the first almost 5 years on YouTube. CPM was $3.61. And for the Aussies, let's convert the total yearly earnings to Aussie dollars, about $3,430. So US, $2,395, Aussie dollars, $3,430. And like I said, there's a few more dollars thrown in there between 2015 and 2016 while I was with that media partner. Reason being why it's not showing up on the YouTube data there is that the media partner takes over your channel essentially, and they get the money sent to them first. They take their cut and then pay the money out into your bank account. So the numbers aren't going to show up on my channel. It went straight to them first. So I had to estimate from memory. I do remember getting a few, as I said, 50 to $100. And then I remember quite vividly that they were getting, I was starting to grow a lot more, 150, $200 a month. As I said, things had changed in how I was producing content at the time. Some other things changed in my life. And that led me to drop off in the following years, 2017, 2018. So we could say somewhere around 3,000 to 3,500 for those first 5 years. Now I know it's not super accurate, I've already said why, but that's about at that point. We'll run it with 3,500 because I'm adding about $1,000 for that 12 months that no income was showing up. Lessons learned. There are many things I could have done so much better over that first 5 years of me being on YouTube. The main two things I wish I had paid more attention to is the content quality and my consistency. So there are valuable lessons that I've learned from those last 5 years. It took me that long, yes, very stubborn, but I am looking to implement those into 2020. And as you could say, they're my goals set. Now on to 2019, and I had made the change. I started going more towards the direction of finance, but at the same time I did that, which was mid to late 2019, an old unrelated topic video started going viral, started getting, just blowing up my channel, and that crushed the CPM afterwards because I was on the finance path, the CPMs are higher. This video is unrelated to anything finance, and that really crushed it. Plus it was highly viewed in a lot of countries where the average income isn't so high. I did have another one of those videos previous years, but I'll make a video separately on that and talk about all of my CPMs. For 2019, I made a total yearly earnings of $1,854, of which $1,534 were from that one viral video. So you could essentially say I made $320 from everything else besides that one video for 2019. As I said, the CPM got crushed and it ended the year at $3.40. Just as a side note, that viral video has now made over 1 million views, and I'll talk about that in another video. So let's get to the grand total of the nearly 6 years on YouTube, and it came to a total of $4,249 with a CPM of $3.54. That's a pretty damn average looking figure. Let's add the extra $1,000 or so on for the 12 months I was with the media partner, and we get a round number about $5,500. Yeah, I've added about $1,200, about $100 a month, give or take. It's still, at the end of the day, a pretty dismal total for the nearly 6 years of work I have put in to the channel. Like I said, many lessons learned. 2020 is the year. I've got many goals set. I'll talk about those in just a sec. Firstly, I'll just say the Australian dollar conversion at the time is around 7,876. That is on the 5,500 US dollars. That works out to be about $1,000 per year. Being on the YouTube for 5.5 years, $5,500, about $1,000 a year, or 1,400 Aussie dollars per year. Another thing to mention for 2019 is that I did not have any affiliates, no ambassadors, no sponsors, no digital products, no physical products. And for the previous 6 or so years, or 5 years previous to 2019, I barely had any products either. I did something in 2015 15 from memory. Some ebook that flopped, maybe made 100, 200 bucks. I'm not even going to bother including that. So to this point, I don't have anything. However, my goal in 2020 is to create some of these products, something digital. I've got something physical in the pipeline. That is my retreats I'm starting in Bali. They're looking pretty good so far. I'll have more information coming up for those. But the reason why I'm doing this is because it is enjoyable. It's growth. At the moment, like you've probably been following me for 5 or 6 years, I don't have a daytime job. I exercise, I eat, and I have investments. So I get to do the things that I love to do. I don't take that for granted at all. I want to use my time more efficiently and do the things that I love. You can see that I've traveled for the last 5 years. I enjoy food, I enjoy exercise, and that is what I plan to deliver in the retreats. I talk about personal finance a lot, and that's also what I plan to deliver in the retreats, how you can become free. So that is part of my goals coming up. I'm also thinking of doing a digital product as well, some sort of course content that I can deliver to you guys. This stuff has to be at the top of the game. It has to be up there because you, the viewer, and I'm in that seat a lot of the time, we have so much to choose from these days. There is so many different products that we can choose from out there, so many different services, and they are all pretty reasonably priced these days because of the competition. So if the product that I am creating doesn't meet up to the expectations, I'm not going to make any money from it, and I'm not going to enjoy doing it. That's the primary purpose of these things. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope this video has inspired you to get out there and find whatever it is you love to do, if you don't already know what that is, and to consistently do it and keep improving on it. That has been massive learning from the last 6 years. I need to keep doing the things I love and keep improving on them. And if you haven't already, please like the video. You know it helps out the YouTube algorithm by now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please comment down below with what you want to see next. I've got a ton of ideas, a list of them. I've started putting them out on paper. But if you've got some ideas, put them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, as I always do. I get back to everyone down in the comment section, so be sure to check that out. I'll leave it there. Thanks again for joining me on this video. How much money I have made over the last 6 years in YouTube as a pretty terrible YouTuber. So remember, until next time, have more fun to get more done.